Alright, hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a video on a cash stack progression guide on old school RuneScape, or at least how I progressed in my account in regards to the cash stack and what I bought and all of that type of stuff. So, if you guys aren't aware, I'm not going to show the stats because that would be spoilers, but I do make a series around this account, basically a progression series where I've mapped out everything I've done from entering the free-to-play world to paying for membership to now trying to max. And this video is going to be going over about my first 50 episodes or so and kind of what notable things I did with that money. This is obviously a very personal video. It depends on how you play the game, so this is going to be my route about it and how I did it, and hopefully it can kind of guide you guys as well. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So we'll begin with episodes 1 through 5. This is the free-to-play section, so not a whole lot was going on here in terms of what I bought. Basically, I was just doing wines and shops for different terms of money making, and then I ended up buying a bond so that I could get to members. I wouldn't really recommend you spend any money on your account in free-to-play. Just get up some stats that are easy to get up and make your way to members as soon as possible. So next up we have episodes number 6 through 9. Pretty nice. On the right hand side we have the cash stack as well. That's going to be my cash stack at the end of the set of episodes, so you guys can see where I end up. And what I did along the way was I did bracelets of ether, I alched them, and I also did shops for money, this time death runes, but they aren't as good now. And then I also did some chain mace and wildy slayer for a little bit. I ended up getting 50 herb lore and 43 prayer. There's a nice little money making method with herb lore with unfinished potions I was trying to unlock, and in addition to that, 43 prayer gets me overheads, which are pretty useful. And the 15 mil cash stack at the end was pretty nice, and I'd recommend early on to just grind some bracelets or just do something that can get your cash up and your stats up if possible. Bracelets of ether, really good for that. From episodes 10 to 14, I did a lot of Wilderness Slayer. Basically about all I did because it makes me money. I think it's the best early game Slayer, and in addition to that, obviously it gets me combat levels. So at this point I started using the cannon for Slayer. I didn't do that before just because, I don't know, whenever I'm that low on cash, I don't care to, but obviously here I kind of had to step up from 15 to 27 mil, so felt like I could do that. From episodes 15 to 22, there was kind of a lot of progress here. I mean, money-wise, we only went up 5 mil, but as far as what I was doing, mostly Revs and Venenatus, along with Wildy Slayer, and a little bit of flipping on the side. I barely did any, but a little bit. And so that was most of my money making for those episodes. I ended up also getting the blowpipe and using that, which is why I went to Revs and Venenatus. And as far as the notable things I spent money on, I got 70 prayer and piety. I thought this actually might have been a little early because I got that at episode 15. You can probably wait a little longer until you start using prayer during your slayer a little bit more or in your bossing, but I got it early. In addition to that, I started using gold bars at Blast Furnace, which is kind of an expensive skilling method. It's not that bad though. And in addition to that, I did get 75 crafting so that I could unlock the Slayer rings and also get the crafting up for Slayer Mask as well. From episodes 23 to 27, we can see we went up 10 mil in total. I was just mostly doing Slayer and trying to get that up. As far as what I spent money on, I got my construction up to 50. That's kind of nice so that you can start to get some teleports in your house and whatnot. And then later, I ended up getting it up to 70 just so I could get my stats up in general and maybe add a little bit to my house. It's not really that needed, so if you're kind of pinched on money, I wouldn't. I'd actually just wait until 83 and push that all at once, but I got it up to 70. And in addition to that, we got 75 Slayer and beyond, and also were able to unlock a rune pouch, which back then was buyable. Recently, that's kind of been all over the place, but had to pay for that back then, so put some money there as well. And then moving on to more of the mid-game, episodes 28 through 33, I did a lot of Slayer and a lot of Venenatus. Venenatus was something I camped for range XP and a ton of GP. It has a very good save spot that I have a guide to that you guys can check out down below if you'd like as well. And yeah, just really, really good stuff. Was able to make a ton of money. It might not look like that because my cash stack only went up 20 mil over these episodes, but as far as progress goes, I was able to, one, start farming, which I like to do fruit trees and stuff like that, so kind of more expensive farming methods. In addition to that, I got 77 prayer and augury and 83 construction along with some house upgrades. Got my pool, built some miscellaneous stuff like an altar and whatnot, and it was pretty good stuff. I didn't fully max out my house, but I had it in what I thought was a good spot for right now. I was going to save the jewelry box and the occult altars or any of the altars for later, because I didn't really need them that much right now. Which then takes us on to episodes 34 through 41. My bank does go up tremendously from 60 mil to 180, so a lot of money making happened here. I got really lucky with Zenites for one. I also unlocked a Vorkath and did a lot more Slayer and ranged based bosses, which is definitely the way that I recommend people build their account because it's pretty profitable and pretty quick. As far as what I achieved during these episodes, on top of that great cash jack gain, we also got my jewelry box. We bought a deck scroll. We got 70 Herblore. That I was just kind of getting up passively. I mean, nothing really too much unlocked there. I'm trying to get closer to 78 for Chambers of Zarek, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. And then I was also able to get up to 90 Slayer as well, which meant that, you know, I was well within reach of killing some Cerberus too, which is fun. So after those episodes, that was honestly where a lot of my money had gone. Dex is a huge setback, so whenever you're gonna either camp Vorkath, camp Venenatus, camp Revs, whenever you're gonna do any of that, whenever you plan on grinding a ton of it out, that's when you buy Dex. I mean, honestly, you could buy Dex and have 10 mil left in the bank and go blowpipe Revs for all your money back. But realistically, the way that I approach Dex is just an entire rebuild almost, and you just have to do it in a ranged-based rebuild because that's what you're spending your money on. That's mostly what I did for those episodes, found it to work pretty well for me, and obviously the bank went up a ton. I got pretty lucky on the Zenite, so that's not all me, but still some good stuff and definitely had some fun there. In terms of episode number 42 through 47, this is when in my mind I was sort of becoming a main account. I had a 240 mil bank by the end of these episodes and having a good old time during this. Got a quest cape, got a prim crystal, and as far as my house, I finally finished off my house through the altars in there, the jewelry teleports. And yeah, everything just kind of felt rounded out, and so that is why I started Free to Play to Max, or at least continued the series at that point, with episode number 47 through 55 being the last little segment we have here. So this is when Free to Play to Max begins, so it's when I kind of refocused towards some skills. Didn't really do much money making at all, just some miscellaneous Slayer during these episodes, and as far as what I got, I spent some money on some Ferocious Gloves, I got 90 Crafting, I had 83 Herblore, and also 90 Prayer. So I basically just pumped up all of my buyable skills and made a little bit of money on the side, so it was discounted, you know? I didn't lose a ton of money, But yeah, so at that point, I felt like balanced out my account. By episode 55, you know, once you have 225 mil and you have most of the base stats that you need for everything, you got like 80s or 90s in the buyables, at that point, it's really just going for 99s, and that's where you're going to spend most of your money. There's not a lot of buyables left other than, you know, like an Avernic Defender, which I still don't even have because I don't think it's that worth it. So after that, I mean, it's really just up to you how you want to spend your money. Just make sure you have enough money to do whatever else you would like to do, and if you have enough extra money sitting around to train a skill to 99 or do whatever, that's how I would approach that. After this episode number 55, I actually did go out and camp Revs for like 2 weeks straight and made like 350 mil. And used most of that to fund basically every Bible on my account, and saved obviously a lot of it just for gear and whatnot. So that was able to do a ton for me, and after that I felt like I could basically pay for everything. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's actually the first time I really have gone back through my series and checked out everything I was doing, and it was a good time. So I'd definitely be down to do more videos like this. If you guys have anything you'd want me to go over in terms of how I've built this account, feel free to let me know down below in a comment. In addition to that, if you want to see more videos like this, as soon as I go live, make sure to hit that subscribe. And also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and see you.